Guus Hiddink. Born November 8, 1946, is a Dutch football manager and former player. He will be the head coach of the Dutch national team for only the UEFA Euro 2016, effective from August 1, 2014, where he will replace Louis van Gaal. He is considered to be one of the most experienced and prominent managers of his generation and was the best-paid coach in international football in 2009. His achievements include winning the European treble with PSV Eindhoven, taking both the Netherlands and South Korea to a historic fourth-place finish in the 1998 FIFA World Cup and 2002 FIFA World Cup respectively, leading Australia to their best-ever finish at a World Cup at the 2006 FIFA World Cup, leading Russia to the semi-finals of Euro 2008, Russia's best performance since the breakup of the Soviet Union, and leading Chelsea to an FA Cup win against Everton in 2009. Hiddink has also previously managed Fenerbahçe Section E, Valencia and Real Madrid. Playing career: Hiddink was born in Varsseveld and started his career as a player in the youth side of amateur club SC Varsseveld. He turned professional after signing on for Dutch club De Graafschap in 1967. Hiddink played at the Doetinchem club under manager Piet de Visser. In 1973, Hiddink and manager de Visser earned promotion to the Eredivisie, the top league in Dutch football. Ever since, the careers of the two Dutchmen have intersected. De Visser scouted numerous South American players, such as PSV players Ronaldo, Romario and former Chelsea defender Alex, for Hiddink's PSV. Also, De Visser, in his role as personal advisor to Roman Abramovich, was influential in bringing Hiddink to the Russian national football team and more recently to Chelsea as caretaker manager following the dismissal of Brazilian Luis Felipe Scolari. It was De Visser who introduced Hiddink to Abramovich during a meeting in Eindhoven in 2004. He spent most of his playing career at De Graafschap, including 3 years under De Visser, and remains a fan of the club. He joined PSV in 1970, but after failing to win a permanent position in the team, he rejoined De Graafschap after just 1 year and remained there until 1977. In 1981, he rejoined De Graafschap and retired a year later. He generally played as a midfielder during his playing days. Managerial career: early club career: having honed his coaching skills as an assistant manager, he took over the managerial role at PSV Eindhoven in 1987. Hiddink took over at PSV in March 1987, while the team was trailing by 3 points behind Ajax with 10 matches remaining in the league. PSV managed to win the championship 6 points ahead of Ajax. It was at PSV where he led the team to its first ever European Cup triumph in 1988, affirming the Eindhoven club's ranking as one of the 3 giants of Dutch football, alongside rivals Ajax and Feyenoord. He also won 3 Eredivisie titles with the club in between 1987 and 1990. Hiddink will never take all the credit for himself, he will also involve his staff in it. That adds to the strong sense of unity. Hiddink has final responsibility, but always shares it with the team around him. He is a real team player, Van Gaal, who experienced Hiddink in 2 periods at PSV, told Bernd Scholten at UEFA.com. He also had a coaching stint at Turkish club Fenerbahçe Section E in 1990 but was dismissed after 1 year before joining Spanish giants Valencia. Dutch national team: Hiddink would face his biggest managerial challenge when he took over the reins of the Dutch national team on January 1, 1995, where he took charge of a team of talented individuals continually racked by internal arguments and disputes. His usual 4-4-2 tactic of deploying wingers backed up by central midfielders resulted in goals from defensive midfielders such as Philip Cocu and Edgar Davids. Hiddink took a firm approach to the team, an example of which was demonstrated at Euro 1996 when Edgar Davids was sent home after an argument with Hiddink. He was able to prevent further internal conflict in the 1998 FIFA World Cup where his team played some of the more entertaining football in that tournament. The team beat Argentina in the quarter-finals to a Euro 1, then suffered a defeat at the hands of Brazil on penalties in the semi-final. This loss signaled an end of another era for Hiddink, as he resigned as Dutch national coach soon after. Real Madrid and Real Betis. He became the manager of Spanish La Liga side Real Madrid in the summer of 1998, replacing Guus Hiddink, but bad league form and off-pitch remarks about the board and finances of Real Madrid saw him get sacked in February 1999. Hiddink then took over the reins at Spanish club Real Betis in 2000 for the rest of the season. His time at Real Betis would end badly with Hiddink being sacked by May 2000. In summer 2000, rumours were rife over his future, with Celtic among one of the clubs named as a potential destination. The temptation to manage another World Cup-bound international team proved irresistible to him, however, as he agreed to coach the South Korean national football team on January 1, 2001. South Korea. Hiddink became manager of South Korea in 2000. Success would not come easily with a team that had appeared in 5 straight World Cups but had yet to win a single match. South Korea was one of the host nations for the 2002 FIFA World Cup tournament, along with Japan. There was an expectation that the hosts would progress to the second round of the tournament, and it was clearly expressed that Hiddink's team was expected to perform to that standard as well. Hiddink's first year in charge was not met with favorable reviews from the South Korean press, as he was often spotted together with his girlfriend, when some felt he should instead have been taking charge of the team. After a 2-1 loss to the US Gold Cup team in January 2002, he was criticized again for not taking his job seriously. Nevertheless, the team he assembled was a cohesive unit. In the World Cup itself, the South Korean team achieved its first ever victory in the first stage, and after a 1-1 draw with the USA and a further 1-0 victory against heavily favored Portugal, the South Korean team qualified for the second round. Their second round opponents were Italy, who they defeated 2-1 after extra time. The South Korea public then began to dream of a semi-final berth. A dream that was realized on defeating Spain on penalties in the quarter-final. This surpassed the record of their North Korean counterparts 36 years before. The South Korean team's run was halted by Germany in the semi-finals. As with the Netherlands team 4 years before in France, Hiddink led his team into 4th place after a defeat to Turkey in the 3rd-place playoff. Prior to the tournament, football pundits and fans alike never expected this level of success. Many in South Korea were overjoyed when the country reached the semi-finals of the 2002 FIFA World Cup. Hiddink became the first ever person to be given honorary South Korean citizenship. In addition, other awards soon followed: a Euro, a private villa in Jeju Island, free flights for life with Korean Air and Asiana Airlines, free taxi rides, and so forth. The World Cup Stadium in Gwangju, where South Korea qualified for the semi-finals, was renamed Guus Hiddink Stadium in his honor shortly after the tournament. His hometown, where ๊ɣys was set up, became a popular stopover for South Koreans visiting the Netherlands. The ๊ɣys is a museum established by his relatives, in Varsseveld, to honor Hiddink. PSV. Hiddink chose to return to his native country and took over the coaching duties at PSV Eindhoven in 2002. During his second spell with PSV, Hiddink won 3 Dutch league titles, the 2005 Dutch Cup, and the 2003 Dutch Super Cup. In Europe, the 2004 Euro 05 Champions League led to PSV's first ever appearance in the semi-final of the tournament since it adopted its current format in 1992 Euro 93. PSV narrowly lost the semi-final to AC Milan, on away goals. In the 2005 Euro 06 Champions League season, PSV made it through the group stage, but was eliminated in the first knockout round, having lost 5 of its starting 11 members to transfers. This period at PSV would make Hiddink the most successful Dutch coach in history, with 6 Dutch league titles and 4 Dutch Cups, surpassing the record of Rinus Michels. Hiddink left the club in June 2006. Australia. On July 22, 2005, Hiddink became manager of the Australian national team. He announced he would manage both PSV and Australia at the same time. In the playoffs held with Uruguay in Montevideo on November 12 and in Sydney on November 16, 2005, both home teams won 1-0. Australia went on to win for a Euro 2 on penalties, a Euro the first time Australia had qualified for the finals in 32 years, and the first time that any team had qualified through winning a penalty shootout. Hiddink was an extremely popular figure in Australia and was referred to affectionately as Aussie Guus. A telling example of the public affection for him was the Socceroo fans' chant of Guus during moments of play. Slogans for the Socceroos World Cup campaign were "No Guus, No Glory", "Guus for PM", and "In Guus We Trust", as well as the play on words of the famous taunt "Guus Your Daddy". During the World Cup, a Sydney newspaper started a humorous campaign to lure him away from Russia by proposing a national Guus tax to pay his wages. More seriously, his reputation was enhanced by his transformation of the national side, with many pundits focusing on the immense improvement to Australia's defence. He is credited with turning a team which conceded many goals under Frank Farina into a solid defensive unit which only conceded one goal away from home to both Uruguay and the Netherlands. Hiddink's assistants at Australia were Dutch legend Johan Neeskens and former Australian international Graham Arnold. The Socceroos defeated the Japanese team 3-1 during their first game in the 2006 FIFA World Cup finals, with Tim Cahill scoring 2 goals and John Aloisi scoring 1 all in the last 8 minutes to claim their first World Cup goals and victory ever. An early controversial call by the Egyptian referee that awarded a goal to the Japanese team, despite an apparent foul to Australian goalkeeper Mark Schwarzer, had the Australians playing catch-up until the last 8 minutes. After scoring the first goal, Cahill was lucky to get away with a potential foul when he tripped Japan's Yuichi Kamano, who had dribbled into the Australian penalty area. The referee missed the incident, and Cahill then broke to score the second on the counter. FIFA spokesman for refereeing Andreas Weert said that while Japan's first goal was irregular, Egyptian referee Essam Abdel Fattah should also have given Japan a penalty. Australia followed the match against Japan with a 2-0 loss to Brazil. This left the Socceroos requiring a draw against Croatia in their last group match to qualify for the knockout stage of the FIFA World Cup for the first time in their history. After a match fraught with controversy and erroneous decisions from the referee, Graham Poll, the game ended 2-2, and the Socceroos had their draw thanks to a goal from Harry Quell to level the game with minutes to spare. In the second round, the Italian national team beat Australia 1-0. After controversially sending off Italian defender Marco Materazzi in the 55th minute, Spanish referee Luis Medina Cantalejo awarded Italy's Fabio Grosso a controversial penalty kick 8 seconds from the end of normal time, which was converted by Francesco Totti. This put Australia out of the World Cup, marking the official end of Hiddink's tenure as Australia's national coach. Russia. On April 10, 2006, Hiddink announced on Dutch television that he would take over as manager of Russia. He signed a 2-year contract in April 2006 worth $2 million a year. His duties for Russia started after managing Australia during the 2006 World Cup. Russia's Euro qualification hopes came into question after a 2-1 loss to Israel. After a win against Andorra, and England losing out to Croatia on the last match day, Russia and Hiddink secured qualification for Euro 2008, where they managed to reach the semi-finals, with victories against the Dutch national team in the quarter-finals, and defending champions Greece in the group stage. Piet de Visser, a former head scout of Hiddink's club PSV and now a personal assistant to Roman Abramovich at Chelsea, recommended Hiddink to the Chelsea owner, following the departure of Avon Grant at the end of the 2007 Euro 08 Premier League season. However, in March 2008 Hiddink had already chosen to exercise the 2-year extension with Russia, keeping him in the national team's head coaching role until 2010. In November 2009 Russia was defeated by Slovenia in a 2010 World Cup qualifying playoff, casting doubt on future ambitions. On February 13, 2010, it was confirmed that Hiddink would leave the position when his contract expired on June 30. Chelsea. After the sacking of Chelsea's former manager, the Brazilian Luis Felipe Scolari during the 2008 Euro 09 Premier League season, Chelsea confirmed on February 11, 2009 that Hiddink would become Scolari's replacement until the end of the Premier League season, whilst continuing his duties with Russia. Hiddink's first game in charge was a 1-0 victory against Aston Villa at Villa Park. His first game in charge at Stamford Bridge was a 1-0 victory over Juventus in the Champions League knockout stage. Success continued in the form of a 3-1 away victory against Liverpool. A Euro commentator stated that Hiddink had rejuvenated Chelsea following Scolari's departure. After knocking Liverpool out of the competition, Hiddink went on to take Chelsea to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. Chelsea lost out to eventual winners Barcelona in the 93rd minute after a 1-1 controversial draw at Stamford Bridge after a 0-0 draw in the Camp Nou, and thus were knocked out on the away goals rule. Hiddink only lost once during his tenure as Chelsea manager, a 1-0 loss to Tottenham Hotspur at White Hart Lane, where Luka Modric scored the only goal of the match. As it turned out, even winning every league game in charge would not have been enough to see Hiddink secure the Premier League title. In the final home game of the season, in which Chelsea beat Blackburn Rovers 2-0, Chelsea home fans chanted Hiddink's name throughout the match and called for Chelsea owner Roman Abramovich to sign him up. Hiddink's highly positive reception highlighted the Chelsea fans' appreciation of the manager. He marked an end to his Premier League campaign with a thrilling 3-2 away win over Sunderland. In his last game as a temporary coach of Chelsea, he won the 2009 FA Cup by beating Everton 2-1 at Wembley. He was visibly pleased at winning the cup, and in subsequent interviews claimed it was one of his biggest achievements. Even though throughout his tenure at Chelsea various players asked him to stay, including captain John Terry, Michael Ballack, and Petr Crouch, Hiddink always stated that he intended to return to his post with Russia. As a parting gift, the Chelsea players gave him an engraved watch and a shirt signed by all of the players. Turkey. On February 16, 2010, Turkish Football Federation President Mahmut Özgener and Hiddink held talks in Amsterdam. Hiddink agreed to coach Turkey after his contract expired on June 30, 2010, with Russia. His contract with Turkey began on August 1, 2010. His staff included assistant manager Oğuz Hiddink and goalkeeping coach Engin Adegripoğlu. On August 11, 2010, Turkey defeated Romania, 2-0, in an international friendly played in Istanbul as Hiddink made the perfect start in his coaching debut for Turkey. Le Paragraph gave Turkey the lead in the 82nd minute after converting a spot kick, sending the home crowd into raptures. Turkey doubled the lead minutes later when Arda scored from 30 yards out. During his spell as the head coach of Turkish national football team, he was repeatedly criticized by the media for the highness of his salary, for not basing himself in Turkey and intermittently visiting the country for games and preparation camps, and for the alleged fact that he failed to grasp the emotional character of the players and forced them into a cold, rational, and overly systematic playing mentality. He resigned after Turkey failed to qualify for Euro 2012 when they lost to Croatia 3-0 aggregate in the playoffs. On February 17, 2012, Hiddink agreed an 18-month deal to manage Russian club Ânzimur, his first permanent club post in 6 years. In his first season, he led the team to the bronze medal in the Russian Premier League. In his second season, Ânzi made it to the round of 16 of the UEFA Europa League for the first time and came close to reaching the quarter-finals, having gone down to 10 men 55 minutes into the second leg against Newcastle United. They came close to going through when Bark Boussouf's free kick hit the post before Papis Cis headed home the winner in the last seconds of the tie, meaning the Magpies won 1-0 on aggregate. It was the second time that the English side have knocked out a team managed by Guus in the competition, having beaten his PSV Eindhoven side 3-2 on aggregate in the quarter-finals of the 2003 April season. He announced his retirement at the end of the 2012 Euro 13 season on November 28, 2012, but later changed his mind. On June 11, 2013, Hiddink decided to extend his contract by 1 more year at Ânzi. just 2 games into the 2013-14 Russian Premier League season after a 2-1 Euro defeat at Dynamo Moscow. However, he unexpectedly resigned on July 22, 2013. He said he left because he completed his mission, which he said was to develop Anzi in a way that it could progress without him. Tax fraud. In February 2007, Hiddink was given a 6-month suspended jail sentence and fined $45,000 after being found guilty of tax fraud by a Dutch court. Prosecutors had demanded a 10-month prison sentence for Hiddink, who was accused of evading a $1.4 million in Dutch taxes by claiming to be a resident of Belgium from 2002 to 2003. The Dutch Tax Intelligence and Detection Service claimed that he hadn't spent enough nights at his Belgian house, which he had stated was his primary address. Hiddink denied this accusation. Managerial statistics, as of May 26, 2013. Honours: Player, De Graafschap, Tweede 1969, San Jose Earthquakes, North American Soccer League Southern Division, 1977. Manager, Individual, AFC Coach of the Year, 2002, World Soccer World Manager of the Year, 2002, Dutch Sports Coach of the Year, 2002, 2005, Rinus Michels Award, 2005, 2006, Coach of the Year in Russia, 2008. In 2005, Hiddink received an honorary doctorate by the University of Seoul. The De Graafschap mascot is named GUUS in honor of Hiddink, who was previously associated with the team as a player and as a manager. The Gwangju World Cup Stadium was renamed the GUUS Hiddink Stadium in honor of Hiddink's performance at the 2002 FIFA World Cup. Hiddink was named an honorary citizen of Seoul after reaching the 2002 FIFA World Cup semi-finals. Hiddink was named an honorary citizen of Eindhoven after winning his 6th Eredivisie title with PSV in 2006. Hiddink was put on a stamp by Australia Post following the 2006 FIFA World Cup. Hiddink was given a Lifetime Achievement Award by the Royal Dutch Football Association in 2007. It was only the 3rd such award ever given, following those received by Rinus Michels and Johan Cruyff. References. Bibliography: Mark Bennett's Football Dynamo a Euro Modern Russia and the People's Game, Virgin Books 07535131196. External links: GUUS Hiddink Foundation, profile at football.com, managerial career at macaulay.com.